thank God the election is over, right? I think we're all friggin' tired of talking about it. We're all relieved that it's over. But now we have this, we have problems in the world. We all know that there's problems in the world. I think we'd all be a lot better off if we just started with the fact that we all want problems to be addressed. And what we're seeing now is half the country says, yay, victory, we've won, so we can solve all our problems. And we have the other side saying, oh no, we have to wait 4 years before we can solve our problems, because there's this assumption that if there's a problem, you get involved with government, you wait for government to do something about it, rather than taking responsibility and doing something about it. Do you have any idea how bad the government is at solving problems? Regardless of what side you're on, right? We agree that there's problems in the world. You and I might disagree politically, but we agree that there's problems that we want to solve, right? And if we start from that fact and we recognize that government completely inept at solving problems, businesses way better at solving problems, then we could have an actual conversation about what we're going to do about things. But people say, well, what about problems that are too big for business? What about healthcare? There's too much money in healthcare to be able to make a real difference. Do you realize the money in healthcare is because the government is so involved? What creates the Martin Shkreli's of the world? He's the dude who raised the price on medications from $1 to $15, $7,500, whatever it was. The price gouging that he did. What creates the Martin Shkreli's of the world? Is it that he's just a big giant douchebag? Probably. A guy probably is a douchebag. But he can't do that in a market. He can't do that if there's actual competition in a place. But there's no competition because the government has such high barriers to entry to actually participate in that field. The cost to get a drug approved by the FDA are over $100 million. There's no free market in that. There's no competition in that. We can just look at energy. How much money does the government spend even spreading a message of, we're going to solve the energy crisis, we're going to make everything better, we're going to have clean energy? What have they done? And we look at the private sector and the innovations that are happening there, the companies that are making drastic changes and profitably. Look, the profit motive isn't just the best way to get rich. The profit motive is actually also the best way that you solve all problems. Because the profit motive is proof that something is working well. The profit motive is the feedback that says this is viable. That's why business is the best way to solve a problem. In the same way, people decry greedy corporations that are just out to make a buck. The only way that it's greedy and unethical is if government is involved choosing winners and losers. And when you have the government going in and saying, this car company gets $1 billion, this company gets nothing, that's the government getting involved, and that's greed. Because now you don't have real competition. But if you have voluntary exchange, just the fact that there was a transaction made, just the fact that there was a buyer and a seller, and it's voluntary, and they set their own price, that's a good thing in and of itself. That's an ethical thing. If somebody gets rich producing things in the marketplace, good for them. Why do we decry that? Why do we call that greed? Somebody else chose them. So the best thing that we can do is to encourage as much success as possible. And the best way that we can solve any problem is to have an environment where the people who profit the most by solving that problem do that. I'm fascinated by a company like Quest Nutrition. Their goal is to end metabolic disease. And they say anything that helps achieve this goal, we'll support. Whether that's our products or other companies. And if another company comes along and does it better than us, God bless them. And because they have that mission, they're a $500 million a year company. And they've been around for 5 years. And they did it profitably. The government can't solve problems that big. Only business can do that. Capitalism Capitalism is the best shot that we have of solving any problem. I don't care what it is or what side of the aisle you fall on. We're on the other end of the most annoying and obnoxious political season ever. But can we at least agree that we have problems that we all want to solve? Like, we all want people to be successful. We all want people to be wealthy. We all want people to be healthy. We all want to see discrimination end. But we don't do that by waiting for government. We don't do that by hoping that then in the next 4 years the right guy or girl replaces Trump or replaces Obama or replaces whoever it is that you don't like. Whoever you do or don't like means nothing about how you live your daily life, and that means a lot more about how this world is shaped than who's president. So whether you're happy or you're upset right now, it's your responsibility to craft the world that you want. And you do that with the products you buy, you do it with the businesses that you start, and the best way that you can solve a problem is to support businesses that represent what you want, or to start a business that solves the problem that you feel passionate about. Because if you can do it profitably, it actually gets done. Whereas if you wait for government, it won't even get solved. That's how you make a difference. Not by how you vote, and not by what you protest. We do it through the free market, we do it through capitalism, not through government.